Hello, it's Amy with Just a Little Ink. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and today I'm popping on quick, a little earlier than normal, to share with you a fun fold card. It was one that I saw from Rachel Tessman, Stamp Your Art Out, and she did it using some paper pumpkin alternatives. And so I don't want to take credit for the idea, but I did do a simplified version of that using some of our new Celebration products. And it's one that I shared with my team today as their make and take. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera over and quickly kind of share with you what I'm using, and then we'll step through all of those things. But I wanted you to realize that you can go to see her original post, Stamp Your Art Out, which is from, again, Rachel Tessman. And so I'm going to go ahead and pull over here. Let's get going. What you're going to want for this project, and she called it a self-standing outside double tier pop-up card. Really fancy name, but I love the simplicity of how she kind of shared this. And so what you want is a 4 1/4 by 11 inch piece of cardstock. I am using fresh freesia because I liked how it coordinated with the Toadstool Gardens Designer Series 6x6 paper stack that's available right now from Stampin' Up during Celebration timeframe. It's free with a $60 purchase before shipping and tax. So what I've got beyond this piece is a couple pieces of what I thought coordinated really nicely. This is Granny Apple Green. You want a piece that's 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, so just a little bigger than what we normally would do. And then another piece, and I did not mark it, I believe it's 2 1/8 by 2 7/8. And that was so that it would layer on the largest, well, I'm not sure it's the largest, one of the perennial postage die. Let me put it on something darker. One of the perennial postage die cuts so that it will go on the front and work out. And then for your Designer Series paper, that one is 4 inches by 4 1/4. So we're just going to kind of set that aside. You're going to want your paper trimmer. Very important tool. So I'm going to pull that out, and I'm going to note that at any time, if you don't already have a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator, and you can order 24/7 at my website, justalittleink.stampinup.net. If you miss it here and you want to go looking for it, the easiest way will be when it is showing to my YouTube channel. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that record button and get going on that. So hold on here. So we're going to line this up. 11 inch side is in my paper trimmer. I'm going to open up my arm so that I have it all the way out to that 12 inch, and actually it goes to 17 1/2, I believe. So you're going to line it into here, and you're going to score it first at 5 1/2 inches. That makes this scored in the middle. You want to make sure to use your lighter colored blade so that you're only scoring. Then you're going to start going across 6 1/4 inches, which is right in the middle. It's a really tiny line right in the middle of the arm extension. Then you're going to scoot it over to 7 3/4 inch. Score again, then at 8 1/2 inches, score it again, then scoot it over to 9 inches, score again, it's 9 3/4 inch, score it one more time there, and then finally at 10 1/2 inches. So then I'm done with the arm. I'm going to go ahead and close that. I'm going to turn it 90 degrees here. Then I'm going to line it up, making sure that all of those score lines are at the top. put my 1 inch mark. So I want the left, or excuse me, the right side. I get directionally confused often. The right side over on the 1 inch mark, which it's just easier on these shorter measurements to come on the other side of your paper trimmer. So I'm going to line it up, and I'm going to cut from the top down 3 1/4 inches, and there's measurements on the side of your trimmer. So I'm going to come down 3 1/4 inches, which ends up taking it down to the 1, 2, 3, 4, to the 5th score line. Then I'm going to flip it over, line it up again at that 1 inch score line, and repeat that same process. So down to 3 1/4 inches, or if you didn't want to measure, down to that 5th score line. So then I'm going to turn my paper around. Actually, I want it where those cuts are on the left and where the score lines are on the left. And I'm going to line it up at 2 inches. You could use your paper snips and just do this manually and not keep it in the paper trimmer. So it's kind of up to you how you want to do that. But I'm going to come, and I'm only going to cut down to that first cut mark. And then move it up. So I've got one piece off, and then I'm going to cut the other side. So I'm going to come below and come up to the other cut mark. Did I get it out? Yeah, so like so. And then we're done with our trimmer. Well, almost done with our trimmer. So then we're going to work on how we measure all these out. So for now, I'm going to set the trimmer aside. And I'm going to start folding. I'm going to fold, grab out my bone folder. Like so. I want to fold this one in. I'm going to fold here and here. I want those little tabs to get folded. And I want the top 2 parts folded. I just thought this was such an ingenious method versus having all kinds of other measurements that you'd have to have. So I'm going to go ahead and fold those top little tabs. So then I've got, when you pull it along this line, you'll kind of see all those little tabs and how they kind of grab. And then this portion, we don't worry about all these score lines because you're going to end up covering them up really anyway. So at this point, I'm going to set that aside. And I'm going to grab my paper, and I'm going to take, first and foremost, this big piece of Granny Apple Green, and I'm going to attach it to what we'd refer to as the inside of my card. I'm just going to go ahead and line it up, attach it to the inside of my card, have just a really slight bit of that fresh freesia showing. And then on this piece, I'm going to cut the bottom 1 1/4 inches off. So I will grab out my paper trimmer one more time. And again, I'm going to just take the first, or the, excuse me, the bottom part, that 4 1/4 inches. Cut that off. This is a little more simplified from what Rachel had shared for the card, because she was using Paper Pumpkin Kit to do hers. So I'm going to take this portion and attach it to the top on the inside. So I just need a little bit of adhesive. So I'm going to line it up at the top so that I have an even reveal top and sides. then that part will be ready. Then I'm going to open up, and I've got this flat panel that's right here where there are no score lines, and that's where this piece is going to go in. So I'm going to line it up. Such that it comes in right here. And have mostly an even reveal. Let's see if I can get an even reveal to this section. And then we're ready to attach these two pieces to the back. And the easiest way to do that is I'm going to fold them down so that the top score is all the way down. And then this little 1/2-inch tab, I'm going to put just a little bit of liquid glue. You could use tear and tape, but I like the flexibility that liquid glue gives. So I'm going to come here and do that on both of these. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down my tabs, try to do it without messing things up. Grab out of the screen here. So then I'm going to then just fold my card over, press, and when I open it, if I get it in the right place, then I have created, everything will have lined up exactly like you need it to, so that it will stand and then it'll flatten out and mail nicely when you want to mail it. So how I decorated, I can show you the one that I did in a little bit here. How I had decorated the one was I had taken and used just the stamp set from Courage and Faith, but last minute decided that I would like to do a little bit of a different one using the Happiest Day stamp set because I thought it was kind of cute this way. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the greeting, which is wishing you the happiest birthday, or you could choose the opposite of that. And I'm going to pull out my fresh Freesia ink, but I also want to use some basic gray. And so we're going to use these 3 colors. I'm not going to get real fancy with my coloring. Grab me a block quickly. I'm going to stamp it in basic gray just so that it stands out a little bit. And I'm going to do it in the middle. And so grab my Pierce mat to get a good impression on this. So when I kind of come, it's about as centered as I can get. Like so. And then I'll clean it in a little bit. Then what I thought would be kind of cute, we're going to layer it onto here. So I'm going to go ahead then and grab that dragonfly that comes in this set. And stamp the dragonfly a couple times. And then, because there are, I'm going to go ahead and close my pad so now I don't stick something else on top of it. Then I'm going to come in, there's some overlays for this. Let's grab a couple of them. I believe this one goes this direction. So I'm going to use my fresh Freesia on the upper. Let me see. Make sure I get it lined up like I want. Yep. Try to stay out of the screen. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other one. And then I thought it would be kind of cute. I'll just grab another block here, use the smaller wings and that granny apple green. Get it to snap. There we go. Some granny apple green here. And I'm going to stamp those on the lower wings. I thought that the dragonfly paired really nicely actually with the toadstools, and then to finish that part out, I'm going to grab my Wink of Stella, because every dragonfly should be glittery. So I'm going to grab, just do a little bit on his wings. And these really do fussy cut really quickly and easily, just because it's pretty straight cuts. So I'm going to quickly pull out, see how quickly is. I'm going to quickly pull out my snips and just do a little quick fussy cutting around. Trying to leave just a little bit of excess around that. I'm sure if you were doing this and taking your time, you can do a little more, but wanted to kind of just quickly share. And I can come here, grab around that little body. The toadstool garden, I think it's, I'm not sure which one, it's toadstool set that's in the January to April mini catalog would pair so beautifully with this, but that is not a bundle I opted to purchase. But if you have it, I have no doubt you'd find it to be the perfect accompaniment to this paper. So I have one here, which I think would be really cute on the top. And then I'm going to cut the other one out quickly, and then we can attach those with a little bit of liquid glue. So again, we'll see how fast I can fussy cut a dragonfly. So come across here. And at the end, I will show you the card I had my team doing, and they chose their own stamp sets to put in this. We don't pre-stamp things, and that way they had flexibility on their own to do what they wanted. So there we go. It's out of the way. So let's assemble this, and then we will be ready to go on. Let me grab my, we'll just use my liquid glue. Oh, it's the other sitting right there. Right here. Attach it to the layer of Granny Apple Green. Like so. And then I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back. You can use a fine tip glue, or you can just use the front. So I'm going to line this one up at the base. And I know it's going to be fine, so we're going to go ahead and attach. You could use dimensionals if you wanted, but I wanted this to be a pretty flat card. So I'm going to line up my greeting to the front. And that'll cover up again most of those little score lines that are left, like so. And then I can attach the other dragonfly on the upper portion, and I'm going to want to make sure to keep the excess of my wings not glued up. I'm going to come this way, and I think, yeah, it's always fun to decide where things go and not drop everything on top. So come up here like so, and I think that's just adorable. So to share on the other side, this is what our team ended up doing. Again, just a simple greeting from the Courage and Faith set, and any one of these would actually go in this center portion, and it would make a really fast card. So kind of fun. Thanks again for joining me. I look forward to catching you again next Thursday. Until then, happy stamping and have a wonderful week.